Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. What if I told you that while you were sleeping, one K-pop idol was literally breaking records left and right, making history almost every single month, and nobody's talking about just how insane her award collection actually is? I'm talking about Blackpink's JENNIE, and by the end of this video, you're going to realize she's not just winning awards, she's rewriting what it means to be a solo artist in K-pop. But here's the crazy part, there's one award she just won that literally never existed before, and she's the first person in history to hold it. Stick around because when I reveal what happened at the Golden Disc Awards, your jaw is going to drop. Let's start with something that sounds almost impossible. Blackpink as a group has won over 200 awards since their debut in 2016. That's right, 200. But when you add up all the solo achievements from JENNIE, Rose, Lisa, and Jisoo, that number shoots up to around 354 awards total. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, that's the group, but what about JENNIE specifically? Well, that's where things get absolutely wild. JENNIE has been collecting awards at a pace that even veteran artists can't keep up with, and most people have no idea just how dominant she's been, especially in the last 2 years. From her debut solo single back in 2018 all the way to right now in 2026, she's been on an unstoppable streak, and some of these wins are so historic that they literally changed K-pop forever. Let me take you back to November 2018 when JENNIE dropped her first solo single, Solo. That song wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural phenomenon. It debuted at number 1 on the JENNIE music chart and achieved a triple crown, meaning it simultaneously topped the digital, download, and streaming charts in South Korea. The music video became the first by a Korean female soloist to surpass 1 billion views on YouTube. Think about that for a second, 1 billion views. That's not just popularity, that's legacy defining. Solo went on to win the Best Digital Song Bonsang at the 34th Golden Disc Awards and Artist of the Year for Digital Music in November at the 8th JENNIE Chart Music Awards. It was also nominated for Song of the Year at both the Golden Disc Awards and the 2019 Net Asian Music Awards. Right out of the gate, JENNIE proved she wasn't just a member of Blackpink, she was a solo powerhouse in her own right, and the industry took notice immediately. Fast forward to 2023, and JENNIE dropped You and Me, a track that would go on to dominate charts worldwide. The song peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Global 200 with over 65 million streams worldwide, and it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Global XL US chart with 60 million streams outside the United States. In South Korea, it topped Billboard's South Korea Songs chart and peaked at number 4 on the Circle Digital chart. But here's where it gets even crazier. You and Me won Best Dance Performance Female Solo at the 2024 Mama Awards, proving that JENNIE's artistry wasn't just about commercial success, it was about delivering performances that set new standards. Then in 2024, she collaborated with Zico on Spot, and that track earned her 2 awards at the Mama Awards for Best Collaboration and Best Rap and Hip Hop Performance, while she also took home the Fans' Choice Female Top 10 Award. She was literally the most nominated and most awarded soloist at the 2024 Mama Awards, walking away with 4 trophies in one night. That same year, Rolling Stone Korea named her Star of the Year for Domestic Artists. The momentum wasn't slowing down, it was accelerating. Now here's where things get absolutely historic, and this is the part you need to pay close attention to because it's never happened before in K-pop. On December 20, 2025, JENNIE attended the Melon Music Awards and made history by becoming the first soloist ever to win Record of the Year, which is a daesang, one of the 4 grand prizes of the night. Let me repeat that, the first soloist in Melon Music Awards history to win Record of the Year. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. For years, only groups had won this category, and JENNIE shattered that ceiling with her debut solo album, Ruby, that was released in March 2025. During her acceptance speech, she was visibly emotional, thanking her team, her company, and of course, her Blackpink members, saying she felt lonely performing alone and missed them dearly. But she also thanked Blinks, Blackpink's fanbase, for their unwavering support. That night, she didn't just win Record of the Year, she also took home Top 10 Artists and Millions Top 10 awards, making it a triple win at one of K-pop's most prestigious award shows. The performance she delivered that night, a medley of songs from her album including Soul City, Zen, and Like Jennie, became one of the most talked about moments of the ceremony, with 50 dancers backing her up in a visually stunning stage that symbolized Korean culture through her outfit, which incorporated the Hanminjeongeum preface, the foundational text written by King Sejong the Great when he introduced Hangul. But wait, because Jennie wasn't done making history. Just a few weeks later, on January 10, 2026, she attended the 40th Golden Disc Awards held at the Taipei Dome in Taiwan, and what happened that night was absolutely unprecedented. Jennie was called to the stage 3 times, and I'm not exaggerating when I say she basically turned the event into the Jennie Show. First, she won the digital song Bon Sang for her solo track, Like Jennie. She was visibly nervous, saying it had been a while since she attended the Golden Disc Awards and she was still shaking from receiving such an honor. But just as she stepped off stage, she was called back up again, this time as Blackpink's representative, because the group won another digital song Bon Sang for their hit, Run, which dominated Korean and global streaming charts in 2025. Jennie laughed in surprise and said, "Everyone, Blackpink won an award. Are the members watching?" before waving to fans and adding that she'd received the award on behalf of all of them. And then, as if that wasn't enough, she was called to the stage a third time to accept the Global Impact Award with Prism, which recognizes K-pop artists who have contributed to promoting Korean culture on the global stage. But here's the real kicker, Jennie also won the newly established Artist of the Year Daesang, becoming the first artist ever to be awarded this brand new grand prize at the Golden Disc Awards. This wasn't just another trophy, this was a moment that will be remembered in K-pop history forever. She's literally the first person to hold this title, and nobody can ever take that away from her. That's 4 awards in one night at one of the biggest K-pop award shows in the world. Now let's talk about her album, Ruby, because this project is the foundation for so many of these wins. Released in March 2025, Ruby was hailed as the best K-pop solo album of 2025 by various specialized media outlets and received numerous positive reviews. The album sold over 1 million copies worldwide, making it a commercial and critical triumph. The lead single, Mantra, won Best Music Video for Overseas and first place for the People's Choice Award for Overseas at the 2024 Asian Pop Music Awards. Mantra also made history as the highest-ranking song by a Korean female soloist on the UK singles chart, proving her global reach. The third single, Extra L, featuring Doekiai, was nominated for Best Collaboration at the 2025 Mama Awards. The fourth single, Like Jennie, won Best Dance Performance Female Solo at the Mama Awards, and the album track, Zen, won Best Music Video. Like Jennie also garnered nominations for Song of the Year at both the 2025 Mama Awards and 2025 Melon Music Awards, plus Best K-pop at the 2025 MTV Video Music Awards. The album's fifth single, Handlebars, featuring Dua Lipa, received a nomination for the Ballad Award at the 34th Seoul Music Awards. Every single track from this album was either winning awards or getting nominated for major categories, which is almost unheard of in the industry. Beyond just music awards, Jennie's influence extends into cultural and business recognition. In 2025, she ranked first place on Forbes Korea's K-Idol of the Year 30 list, with an Idol Index score of 1.91, which reflects her reach across music, fashion, and culture. She also earned a placement on the Korea Power Celebrity 40 in 2025. She became the first Korean soloist to win Billboard's Women in Music Award in 2025, which recognizes women who have made significant contributions to the music industry globally. This isn't just about K-pop anymore, this is about Jennie being recognized as a global force in music. Blackpink as a group was also recognized by Time magazine as Entertainer of the Year in 2022, and they were the first Asian act featured on the Time 100 cover, which opened doors for countless artists who came after them. Jennie's individual success is built on that foundation, but she's taken it to heights that even surpass the group's collective achievements in some areas. Let's also talk about some records that often get overlooked. Jennie's collaboration track, One of the Girls, with The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp ranked as the 7th most streamed song of 2024 worldwide by overall on-demand audio streaming volume, achieving 860 million streams between January and July 2024. In the United Kingdom, it peaked at number 21 on the UK singles chart, becoming the highest-charting solo song by a Blackpink member at that time, and it remained on the chart for 17 weeks. Her song, You and Me, spent 20 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, making Jennie the first Korean female soloist to have a song on the chart for 20 weeks. She joined Psy as the only two Korean soloists to achieve this feat after his song, Gangnam Style, back in 2012. These aren't just chart positions, these are milestones that define generations of artists. And here's something that really shows her dedication to her craft. Jennie doesn't just collect awards and disappear, she's actively involved in creating her music. She's credited as a lyricist and composer on multiple tracks from her Ruby album, including Damn Right, with Kali Uchis and Childish Gambino, FTS, Extra L, with Doekiai, and Starlight. She's also been involved in writing and composing on previous tracks like Slow Motion, where she was credited for vocals, lyrics, and composition. This level of creative control is rare in K-pop, where many idols don't have as much input into their music, but Jennie has made it clear that she wants to shape her own artistic direction, and the results speak for themselves. Now, I want to address something that happened recently at the 2026 Golden Disc Awards that shows just how much pressure Jennie is under. After her performance, some Korean commenters started questioning her energy, saying she looked overly pleased on stage but exhausted afterward. Some criticized her for not showing much physical strain during the routine. But here's what they're missing: Jennie performed an intense stage after already being on a grueling schedule, and she still delivered a show that drew over 4.3 million viewers during her segment. Fans quickly defended her, pointing out that she's human and might have been tired, sick, or dealing with any number of things that day. The fact that people expect her to be perfect every single moment is exhausting just to think about, and it highlights the immense pressure that comes with being at the top. Despite all of this, she gave an emotional speech after winning Artist of the Year, thanking her staff, dancers, creative directors, and fans, saying she wanted to do well because it had been a long time since she attended a Korean awards ceremony. She was sweating, her face was a mess by her own admission, but she pushed through and delivered, because that's what she does. So when you add up everything, from her debut in 2018 to now in early 2026, Jennie has accumulated a staggering number of awards that include multiple Daesang Grand Prizes, Bonsang Main Prizes, Billboard accolades, MTV Awards, Forbes recognitions, Guinness World Records tied to Blackpink's achievements, and cultural honors that extend far beyond just music. While the phrase, "a million awards," in the title is obviously a bit of hyperbole, the reality is that Jennie's award collection is so extensive and so historic that it feels like she's won a million when you actually sit down and count every single recognition, nomination, chart achievement, streaming record, and cultural milestone she's reached. She's not just one of the most awarded female soloists in K-pop, she's arguably the most impactful solo artist of her generation, and she's done it while still being a member of one of the biggest girl groups in the world. The fact that she can balance both careers and excel at both is something that very few artists in any genre have ever been able to do. Here's the bottom line: Jennie's journey from trainee to global superstar has been defined by breaking barriers and setting new standards. She was the first member of Blackpink to be revealed back in June 2016, and from that moment, she's been paving the way not just for herself, but for every female soloist who will come after her. She proved that a K-pop idol can be a successful solo artist while still being part of a group. She proved that a soloist can win grand prizes that were previously reserved only for groups. She proved that Korean artists can top Western charts and earn recognition from institutions like Billboard and Time magazine. And most importantly, she proved that authenticity and hard work will always shine through, even when the pressure is overwhelming. So the next time someone asks you why Jennie is such a big deal, you can point to this video and say, because she's literally rewriting history with every single award she wins, and we're all just lucky to be witnessing it in real time. If you made it this far, drop a comment below telling me which Jennie award surprised you the most, and don't forget to like and subscribe because we're going to keep covering every single milestone this queen achieves. Trust me, she's not slowing down anytime soon. Annyeong.